Hi, I'm Amber Burke, and I'd like to show you a few different ways to set up a restorative version of bridge pose. My point being that there's no one right way to set up this or any restorative pose. You do the version that works best for you. You do the version for which you have the props available. We'll start with a more minimalist version using just one prop, a yoga block, and we'll go to a more maximalist version using a few different props, a bolster, a strap, and a couple blankets. So grab those two if you want to do the pose that way. Starting in the least fussy way, we will put the block near our yoga mat and we'll ease ourselves down onto our backs. We'll come into an ordinary bridge pose at first, rooting down with the feet, lifting the hips up. Then we'll slide the block on its middle setting so that it's like a bench right underneath the sacrum, just above the buttocks. And maybe this is just perfect for us. Maybe this is the right amount of back bend that's giving us a nice stretch across the top of the chest, that's helping us to gently open our hip flexors or psoas. Or maybe we'd like a little bit less of a back bend, in which case we could put the block on a flatter setting. Maybe we'd like more of a back bend, in which case we could rise up onto our toes, set the block up like a tower, and place it again underneath the sacrum. We get to linger here however long we want to linger here. And then when it's time for us to come out of the pose, we reroute through the feet. We lift the hips up just a little bit. We slide the block out from under and we lower ourselves back down. Roll over to the side, use your hands to help press you all the way back up to seated. So that was version 1, restorative bridge pose with a block. Let's do a second version, restorative bridge pose using a bolster. We'll put the bolster the long way down the yoga mat, and we'd like enough room above the bolster for the head and for the tops of the shoulders. Simply come to seated on your bolster, and then use your hands and then your forearms to lower yourself down, arranging yourself so that the tops of the shoulders are on the earth, as is the back of the head. Lengthen your legs out in front of you if you want. See how this pose feels. Is it any different? Is it any better for you? You have options for coming out of this one. Some people like to roll to the side or use their hands to help press them up. I kind of like rolling onto my stomach and enjoying a brief spell in a downward facing Shavasana before I press down with my hands to come to hands and knees and then back up to seated. Okay, that was version 2. Let's do version 3, keeping the bolster where it is, but now we will add a couple blankets and a strap. Let's put the blankets toward the bottom of the yoga mat where they will support our calves. If you don't have blankets, you could use another cushion, a zafu, a couple yoga blocks. Come to seated on your bolster and grab your strap. Make a loop in your strap and put the loop around your feet, drawing it up over your calves. And you'd like the loop to be tight enough that it just feels like it's giving your shins a gentle hug. Lengthen your legs out in front of you, setting the calves up on the blankets. I prefer them here rather than underneath the heels, because if they're underneath the heels, that makes it a little easier for the legs, the knees to hyperextend. But you do what works for you. Same business. You'll lower down with your hands, you'll lower down with your forearms, scooching yourself back until the tops of the shoulders can drop and the back of the head is supported. Notice that the strap is making it so you don't have to exert the least bit of effort to keep your legs steady. To come out of this one, try bending your knees, planting your feet, use your elbows, then your hands to bring you back up to seated. Okay, experiment with those variations, see what you like best.